Let's see, where am I at? What am I doing? Good morning. We're back in the Daily Act, and we're doing Planet Crafter Intense build again. And I just got notified of something that I'm going to have to go gander at. I was told something, heard a noise, but that's all right. In the first minute, I'm already confused. Okay, now I've got to do one other thing. Yeah, there it is. Woohoo! And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air. Okay. What I'm trying to do is get this to 5 TTI and get the heck off of this rock somehow. And I'm just now wondering. Oh, you don't get those messages that I'm thinking of, the end stage messages, until you reach 5 TTI. And I'm not there yet. Okay. We're about halfway to the end, from the mammal stage to the completed stage. That's what I was wearing. And this is what I am wearing. The guy on the pedestal is shorter because we're the same height, but the pedestal takes up a fair amount of space. Well, I'm surprised I can wear your... Good morning, Shaman. Surprised I can wear his space suit since he's shorter. Let me see. I'm going to get this today if it's the last thing I do. Oh, I've got enough to do that. Well, heck yeah. Need one of those. And just because of you, Shaman, I'm wearing Spacesuit Fabio, as you can see. See? Spacesuit Fabio. Now I need a rocket engine. Never give up, never surrender. Yeah, absolutely. I'm hopeful that this rocket will give me a 1750 animal multiplier. Very fashionable, absolutely. I didn't put any fish in it, but there's fish in it. I have to say, I almost didn't make it on time this morning. AMP decided that our community stuff was going to be Lego Fortnite today at 10. And I've been downloading stuff for that. Okay, animals are on the way up. I need an insect rocket, which I should have looked at while I was there. Did you sleep okay last night? Okay. That's not the one I want. I want this other one over here. Did you see my Discord message? No, I did not. I can go look at your Discord message if you want. No need. Okay. I've got Discord up in the background. Is the sound good? I'm going to assume it is. I haven't changed it. You forgot to get a rocket engine, you dummy. I was just saying I might not be here due to a rough night. And the funny part, about 45 minutes ago, I did look at Discord and did look at, well, maybe I didn't look exactly at your post. Sound is great. Good. Thank you. It's just easier to deal with all this when there's somebody here that you have a little feedback. It's also easier to do this when you know you're talking to somebody and not just out in the open air. Concurrent views are 2. Somebody's a-lurking. Well, no matter who might be lurking, that will be okay. And I don't know, could be my wife too. You never can tell. And I've never. Speaking of people that might be lurking, there's Icy. Good morning, Icy. I have to admit, I looked at Streamlabs and almost got it, and I just decided against it. But I really do miss the Icy laugh, so I might have to bum that soundbite off Andreas. Let me see. Do I have enough to make one more of those? It would be good. I do. Whoop. Come on. Yeah, Icy, I don't know if you saw the Amps Discord, but she's wanting to play Lego Fortnite today, and I almost wasn't here because I was downloading all the stuff for Lego Fortnite. Because it's not on Steam, it's on Epic. What am I doing? I've had 3 cups of decaf, which is just like drinking a glass of water. And I don't know that my head's in the right spot yet. Yeah, I have to admit that change kind of threw me off guard. I know she's not crazy about subsistence, and I get it. It's been played to death, and I have it ready. You see, you're just a step ahead. Usually there are bees flying around that. I'm a little disappointed. Where are the bees at? Well, she said she just didn't want to play subsistence, and that, by God, she was playing Lego Fortnite, and that was her chosen game when she put the poll out the other day. Anyway. And I've never played Fortnite. I'll be so lost it won't be funny. Now, let's see. I've had 1 mammal rocket and 2 insect rockets, and the insects are not going up. Do I have enough for a plant rocket? Now, what are you working on? I'm just working to get this to 5 TTI. I don't know what happened to Sapiens. That's an AMP question. Well, I appreciate the offer of help. Lord knows I'll need it. I'm giving serious thought to the multiplayer stopped again. Yeah, she was not happy with the multiplayer situation in Sapiens. It kept being a pain in the ass. We were, I get it though. I really, really do. Seed spreader rocket. That's the insect rocket. That's the one I'm wanting. Now, I don't know what was... I haven't played Sapiens again because... in my solo game, because I gotta admit, it confounds me just a little bit. I'm just not getting what makes everybody work together, and I feel like I'm stubbing my toe on it, so to speak. Got that. Need 2 of those. And now I need fertilizer, but I can't remember what fertilizer it was. Luckily, I have both types. There we go. However, I was going to be there and struggle through it this morning, although I wasn't. Yeah, they need to put a fix on that multiplayer badly. Yes, they do. And I don't know. I think that I think the menuing system, when they tell you you can't do this because you need something, I almost think they should show you what you need on the screen. Let's admit this. I'm old. I don't remember everything I should. Super complicated games give me a bit of confusion. However, having said all that, I've been up hacking a firewall this morning, and I can't say that I've done great, but I did it. I get the feeling that this new headset is being, or it's my left hearing aid that's causing a little bit of feedback, and I can hear it in my left ear. Almost sounds like water running, which is weird. However, I will say this about this game I'm playing. All I'm trying to do with this one is get it to 5 TTI and leave the planet somehow. I have had this game ongoing for a while, and I just felt like I wanted to do something different. But I also want to finish this game. I've got 3 completely finished saved games on here. Now, where is that going back to? And do I have... But I know where that one's going, so I'll just take it. Be the human drone. I know, I picked that damn thing up. It makes me wonder. The heck? Okay, I'm confused. I guess I need another cup of coffee. Or I did put it in there. Oof. Some days me old brain don't work so good. I think I'm going to go through the portal. I need 400 more thousand. I think I might have already found a fair amount of stuff in here, but I'm still carrying a fusion cell, so that tells me maybe I didn't find everything I thought I found. Yeah, there's not a lot of lights on, so... Hope there's water where the fish rocket lands. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, if it's not, they're in a bad way. I've got to say, that table right there that you encounter many times in this playthrough, I just want to take an axe and chop the living crap out of it. It makes me a bit crazy. And there it is again. having a storm of some kind. Beginning to ascertain that this is about as exciting as mammary glands on a male hog. Come on, I need to find that reactor. Darn it. Yes, I have not found the reactor in this one, which is still why I have... I always think of piles of yellow stuff as cornmeal. Seems too yellow to be sand. Yeah. Hadn't thought of that, but you got a point. That really does look like cornmeal. And I knew I put that there to say this is... And I have gotten all the good stuff since I used a couple of them, I can take that back. I need those like I need a hole in my brain. Okay. And yes, I'm cheating. Ooh, boop, 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 boop. That went all wrong. Well, snickle frets. And I only say that because it is such a good word. Well, foot. Yeah, the temperature here has went back up. We're almost in the hundreds every day again. However, this morning when I walked 45 minutes ago or so, it was 72 degrees. Yeah, I see the good thing about 70s in San Diego, California. She probably doesn't have any humidity. The numbers are not going up as quickly as I'd like. Yeah. Oxygen, heat, pressure, oxygen screaming along. But my total biomass isn't going up very much. Nope, that's why I live here. I gotta say, in between South Carolina or East Tennessee. And here there's a huge amount of difference, but there are days we do get some humidity here, and yeah, it's starting to get to the point where it's bothering me more. I mean, in South Carolina, the humidity's 80 to 100% every flipping day. If it gets down to 60% humidity there, why, good grief, people think they're on vacation. It's crazy. All right, there is other stuff I can do. So I'm going to drop all that off because it's just walking around with it, and it's not doing me any good. There's the flare container. Now, oh, that's flower seeds, that's fuses. Come on, I saw rocket engines here someplace. If I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then get 3 of these, and 3 of those, that should help. Woo. Would you call that rocketception? Looks terribly obscene. Plus, having no AC doesn't help. Yeah, I have a window air conditioner in my garage, and I have a 6,500 watt generator on my back porch that, if nothing else, I can air condition one room and keep the refrigerators going. You know, we could plug the microwave in if we had to cook or something. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but yeah, for as hot as it is here. No, I can't talk. Why do you ask? It's that they haven't fixed the power grid in Texas. Absolutely makes me want to pull my hair out. Let me pick up 2 more of those, 3 more of those, 3 more of those, and we should be able to do that all over again. The worst part about having a window air conditioner is the fact that I don't keep it in the window all the time, but putting it in and my back situation. Well, I thought I set the first one off, but I obviously did not. No, I've got to say, about the only thing I haven't done as far as my generator is concerned is wire it directly into the house on the 230 rail and go from there. I mean, it would probably keep everything up except for my big air conditioner. Other than that, yeah, stubborn independent Texas may regret that power choice. They're already regretting it. We never know if it's going to be 20 degrees or 105 from day to day all year long. And you're not wrong. East Tennessee is, and I only know because I lived there. And humidity in the Tennessee Valley is nasty. It was funny when Randy and I first met in the late 90s. She asked me, she said, "Why do you always refer to it as East Tennessee?" I said, "Because it's East Tennessee." She said, "But why?" I said, "There are 3 flags, 3 stars on the state flag in Tennessee, and there are 3 stars because there are 3 distinct geographic regions in the state." Yeah, one thing I noticed when I moved here, when I was in South Carolina, I always kept the thermostat on 70 because the humidity was so heavy. It is so much less humid that anything below 73 here just absolutely peels the skin off of me. I'm froze. Yes, it's hard to plan around. I can tell a tremendous difference. And if it's a very dry day and the air conditioner's on, I almost have to turn it down. When I get in the car, I always take it off and recirculate because it just really does me wrong. I've got one more. Let me see here. I'm going to wind up bringing some of that back. Or I've got enough that I can still do 2 more, because all I need to do is build the rocket. Super alloy. Shaman, the Tennessee Valley is different. When I was in grade school in the 70s, there was a time that there hadn't been a tornado in the Tennessee Valley in more than 100 years because they would try to go across the mountains and it would cut them in half and diminish them. I don't know if that's still true or not. I always thought that was an amazing stat. Sunshine, a tornado, a hailstorm, a tsunami. Down, yeah. I still need super alloy. Yeah. Been having more tornadoes popping up in there. I figured that might have been the case. I know that little piece of information has about 50 years on it now. A long time since I was in grade school. It's funny. 2 out of the 3 schools I went to, one isn't even. It's kind of a special needs school, and that's okay. The other one, though, the high school I went to, it stopped being a high school and it's a middle school now. And, you know, it's crazy. Alright, I can take that off. Numbers, numbers, numbers. Boy, the oxygen is going up. We're at 327, and unfortunately, me putting all those rockets up, it's going to be stormy. And even if I'm going to go back there, I got to pick other stuff up. Let's just do 3 of them. And 3 of them. You need to get a drink. Okay. I've been there. Let's see if there's something else around here. I doubt there is, but you never know. The only thing that looked good out of there is that. Each day you just never know. Go to the next weather people day, because the next it's like a surprise. Yeah, weatherman. That's the only job you'll have that you can be wrong and still keep your job. All right. Oh. I believe that is the only ship. Well, I'm gonna find that. You're in a spacesuit. How do you drink from a lake? Long, strong down to your boots? Well, maybe. All I can tell you is you do have the water filter because it allows you to drink from the lakes directly. Now, how they accomplish that? Your guess is as good as mine. All right. I've been that way. I'm going this way. And I've already found the keys over here, but I'm taking it anyway. And it looks like that is the only way to go. Nope. No, this is going back out, you id. And on a serious note, the developers of this game have often said that it doesn't have anything to do with actual science or realism. And a lot of people in their Discord gripe about that. And people who are very much more knowledgeable than me will come over and go, oh my gosh, this is not realistic. And they'll do all this math, and it's like, good morning, I will be lurking while working. Country lady, always good to have you here. Lurk and work at will. Thank you for stepping in to say good morning. You know, I try to see this game as, I'm going to go now. I have some things to get done before the community stream here. Icy, we'll see you later. Thank you for dropping by. Always good to talk to you. Well, foot. Feel like I'm a fly with one wing. I keep going around in circles. I just want to find the fusion reactor, but do I have the fusion cell with me? No. Nay, nay. Well, foot. Brains was dynamite. I wouldn't have enough to blow my nose. Come on. Yeah, Oopsie is right. You know, for as much as I think I know, we distracted you with the weather chat. Oh, that's a load of crap. But you know, it just might be true. There's Miss Amp. Amp, just so you know, I'm trying to download everything that's needed for Lego Fortnite, and I'm going to tell you, like I told Icy, I know nothing about that game. I can't find my ass with both hands, let alone know what that game's all about. Yes, Shaman, you tried. And I appreciate it more than you know, but I'm not going to let you cover my sins. I screwed up. We didn't either. We played for a bit last night, so no worries. And I saw you playing for a bit last night, and I wondered. I said, well, at least she's playing something she enjoys, because that's what you wanted to play. I'm sorry that Sapiens was giving you trouble. I mean, it was giving me trouble. I just felt like I wasn't doing so hot. I want to go another direction, and this darn thing ain't gonna let me. Okay, I've been through there and down there. Let's go this way. And that goes back that way, which goes back that way, which goes right back there. Now, I will tell you that I have been practicing golf with friends, and I tuned into a gentleman that was playing the Oasis course that we played the other day and just went, wow. Me and Drace tried to get him on my Sapiens game like we'd been for over 2 hours, and then my file ended up deleting after he spent another hour opening the port, like it said, to make it smoother. Yeah, well, and, you know, if it's not working, I've got some of the things downloaded that we need, but after I get through with this, I will get to working it just as hard as I can. Because I'm interested. I've always been a Lego fan. And I've been to these two places before, but this darn wreck is driving me just a bit nuts. I mean, I realize that you can't go someplace that you're already at, but here we are. We can get you in. It was pretty easy, just a timely download. I think I've got everything downloaded that needed to be downloaded. I just haven't installed it all is where I'm at for the moment. I'm going to say that that might be the exit, but I'm not sure. And that cotton picking door and that door have got to be open, and I've got all the stuff to do it, but I can't find the frickin' reactor. Nice surprises in the game. We were all like, oh wow, it was actually surprised me how fun it ended up being. I think you'll love it. Well, we're gonna, give it a whirl, see what happens. Feel like a dog chasing his tail right now. No, I'm going this way because I've been. Looky there, would you? Amp, you said something one time in one of my streams about that it sounded like I was in a room. It sounded like blowing, airish. I don't know how you would describe it. I have a ceiling fan going above me because my room has, oh, good grief, how many computers sitting in it? Some of them are on, some of them are not. And in fairness, me and Dreas and Icy tried Subsistence as well for a bit. Dreas hated it. Well, and I get that. And the only reason why I picked Subsistence was because I have a copy of it. I mean, other than that, I have no particular, love loss. Yes, I finally found it. I mean, didn't think I could find my ass with both hands there for a bit. And now everything looks totally different. Boy, everything does look totally different. I've still got 2 flares. I don't need any more. I'm getting ready to thirst absolutely to death. And I'm with Shaman. We need to play what's fun for you. And if I have to sit out and give it a look first and get everything downloaded, heckin' yeah. I mean, that's okay too. And I am totally out of circuit boards. Amp, I know you guys are busy, 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 and I appreciate you being here. I wish I'd have known you were playing Subsistence. I wouldn't have, would have liked to have played a little bit, but I'm not good at that game. It kicks my backside hard. And if you don't have your ducks in a row, it's, and there's the exit. Found everything I wanted to find, and now I can leave with my dignity. I tagged you last night, I think. Let me check. You probably did. After about 7, I checked nothing. That's usually mine and the boss's TV time, and we were watching the Great British Bake Off at that point. Yep, it was in the ComStream channel. It was 5:33, so close enough for you all. Well, and like I said, if you ever really want to get a hold of me, shoot me an email because it'll pop up on my phone. But you have people you're dealing with, and we were watching old Great British Bake Off stuff. We weren't watching any of the new stuff, but the new stuff is supposed to come out at some point in time. I'm almost at 60%. Good grief. Maybe I need to make an aminal. Let me see how many genetic traits I've got. I have exactly 3. That's a color, that's a color. Nope. But I can extract genetic traits, blah, blah, blah. I have to admit, I like the older Great British Bake Offs with Mary Berry. It's not that I don't like Prue. I don't like Noel Redding. He drives me. Miss Bella Boo will sit and watch cooking and baking shows for hours. She loves it. I'm going to have to nurture the inner cook in her if she allows it. I will bring episodes, seasons I've missed before it does. Yeah, from what I understand, the new one's fixing to come out on Netflix. And that tracks pretty much with when they film it, because I've got a friend in the UK that we have to tell her, don't spoil it for us. I need aminals. If she enjoys watching baking shows, I would say there's probably a fair chance that I've got these things here, but they've got no aminals in them. And I know how to say animals. I'm just being facetious. I'm demanding that. That looks like overflow. Hold it, let me see. Just because they tend to be changing a heck of a lot of blueprint stuff. Nope. Let me see. I'm going to give you special permission in the Discord channel. Mine, not Darius. I'm going to let you tag everyone right before you go live. I'll tell you how. There's no need to do that. Whoever shows up, shows up. Please don't do that. Oh, I understand that. I know how to do that, but there's no need. You have been far more. Oh, that's not what I need, you doofus. You have been far terribly generous, and I feel like you do. I'd rather have a good group. No take backs, already doing it. Nanny, nanny, nanny. You're doing it, but that don't mean I have to, and I'm pretty stubborn. I know. Let me see here. All right, what are we missing here? Will that reach all the way over there? Yes, it will. Maybe it won't. Well, if I ever get on when you first start, I'm doing it, and my mods can do it in Discord as well. You can do anything you like. However, I'm not going to hijack your Discord. I have one of my own. Sometimes I announce there, sometimes I don't. I'm a slob. What can I say? The Battle of the Stubborns. Well, we are both from Tennessee. No, I don't want to deconstruct that foundation. I just want to build this a little farther this way. All right. Got plenty of them. What I really need to do... Hi, Darlene. How are you? Oop. Turn the light off. It's driving the whole place crazy that you've got your light on. Yeah, it's stoop. Hold it. I know how to do this even better. Say, well, you said it supplies everything. I'll turn both over my knee and put a chair in the chair, just so you know. You are slovenly perfect. I try. You can lead a horse to water, as they say. Damn stubborn horse. Well, you know, I am what I am, as Popeye used to say. Um, I have a very small channel, and I'm okay with it. Amp, I'm going to say this and take it in the spirit in which it is intended. You know you love me, stubborn and all. So there. Yeah, and I knew that you would get that because that's how you think. And, you know, I have a Threads account that one of them has 168 followers, and the other one that is kind of more personal only has 71, I think. And, you know, it is what it is. I tend to fly under the radar and like it that way. It was funny when I left the state of South Carolina and the people I worked with threw me a party. I almost stopped them. And then I just said, you can either get behind this, you've been here for 10 years, go and do, you know, whatever. And I sat down and they made me talk at this get together. And I just said, I almost didn't allow this to happen, but I felt like I needed to because you guys have been some of the greatest people I've ever worked around. And, you know, I got into all this streaming and everything largely because of the influence of you, Andreas. And I appreciate what you've done, and on a shoestring budget even. We're supplying rockets. And there they go. Because I think that's the play, is putting up more rockets to increase the percentages, blah, blah, blah. That's the one I want to look at. 15 asteroid rockets, 16 magnetic rockets, 21 plant rockets, 2 animal spreader rockets, because by gollies, that I'd have a scat of them up, but when it takes 6 of these at a crack, thank you, we're blessed to have people like you in our lives and on our channel. Well, I don't know how blessed you think you are, Twitch. Thank you, I appreciate that. You guys are good people, and you know, the whole group has been terribly good. All right, I've been doing this for an hour and 3 minutes. If I could do something to make this go a little quicker, I'd probably be pretty happy camper. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Which is going to be 4 of these. And then I'm going to go, that's 10, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, close enough. Alrighty, I'm off to set the stream up and get the Legos up and running. See y'all in a bit. Amp, you have a great day. I appreciate everything you do. All hail the Nanner Queen. All hail. Let that one go. Oh, I am short of silicone. sorry that that's going to stir up all these storms and it's going to be loud. Yay! And away we go. Just make everything fly. I've never seen the overview of the rockets. So do they orbit or just go up and come down? They're supposed to orbit. And the problem with rocketception, when you set more than one off at a time, a lot of people were confused that they thought their rockets weren't counting because they weren't going up. Supposedly they're in orbit, but the developers came out and said when you click that red button, the 1,000-point bonus or 1,200 or 1,700-point bonus, percentage rate comes into effect. So, no matter where the physical rocket goes, you're going to get your bonus. See how many more rockets I got, which tells me I'm out of that right now. What do we need? Bet you I'm out of iridium rods, which would mean I'm out of iridium. And I am. Now, supposedly, like I said, it's an orbit thing. And everything just seems to be moving just terrible slow. But as you get farther along in the game and the numbers, you go to a higher number set. I can see why if we were using just the numbers we started out the game with and we weren't doing KTIs, they'd be rolling. Yeah, the thing of it is you only need one of these GPS satellites, but I accidentally have put two up. And there's where the science fail. If they're ordering their cargo like fish or making it to the ground to spread, that's illogical. Yeah, and like I said, some people in the Discord just get all up in arms and show all the math as to why they're wrong, and it's like, you obviously don't get this as just to have fun. Well, it's like the logical song from Supertramp, like we've discussed, it is what it is. At least I do have a few more rocket engines, and that's what I was trying to get. Let me turn that off. Now, I've got about 20 minutes to burn. We're going to find someplace else to go. Yeah, it's a game. Precisely. It's a game. What the heck? I've only got one water? you think you can chop down a tree with your fist in subsistence. For Minecraft, yeah. I want you to know that I almost started playing Quake this morning, just to go on with the whole retro gaming thing. And the reason why I didn't, and I had forgotten this, in Quake, the people who are trying to do you in have dogs, and you have to shoot dogs. I'm a dog lover. I'm just not, going to do that because I just don't feel like doing it. And now that I don't have a fusion cell, I will find the fusion reactor right off the bat. Let's go and do that. Yeah, well, another thing about subsistence, about reality, is the mass. My wife, I can't tell you how many times my wife has asked, "What's that?" It's an arbitrary something that you have to play the game. Let's do that. And we'll wait on the other stuff. I wouldn't want to watch that. That's the one part of subsistence I don't like, is the killing of wolves and bears. Yeah, there wasn't many dogs, but there was just enough. I just went, I'm a dog lover. Hardcore dog lover. And I don't think my dog would come up and bite me. Boy, that's a good find. But it's not who I am. Well, I get the fact that if somebody is guarding a place, even in real life, like in the military, they told us, if you're doing something wrong and that security policeman says, I'm going to release my dog, I got a briefing once, said, you better stop. That dog is trained to go after you hard, fast, and a lot, and you can't outrun that dog. But it's just not something I choose to do, and I have, wow, to find two of those it's just not who I choose to be. Randy and I have had dogs. We got married in 2000, and in summer of 2001, we got our first dachshund, Dylan. And I really wasn't an animal person or a dog person or anything like that. And he won me over, he was so smart that it was like, wow, what a smart dog. I mean, he taught himself. We didn't have anything to do with it. We weren't intentionally trying to get him to do this. When we'd go to work in the mornings, he'd go in the crate. and he had a habit that he would chew table legs. And we had just gotten a new dining room table when we got him, so I said, when we leave the house, he goes in the crate. He finally latched on to that, and when we'd get up to go to work in the morning, eventually it got to the point where we could look at him and go, it's time to go get in the crate. And he'd go and get in the crate. And if you forgot to close the door, he was so smart, he would come out and get you. Now, once you closed the gate on the crate, or the door on the crate, he would growl. He hated that thing, but he was such a good dog. He was 7 or 8 pounds. You know, he was the consummate guard dog. He followed my wife around. You know, it was her shadow. That's why I will deal with the hunting, because it's supposed to be survival in the wild. Yeah, and you know, Taz, he knows what's going on, and we used to put him in a crate so we could take a bath, because he would walk around the house and get into mischief. Well, now it's come along 3 or 4 years later that we can let him sit on the bed, and he knows if he sits on the bed, he's getting a treat. You know, he sits when he's told to sit. You know, he follows my wife around, but he follows both of us around, and there are times he wants to take up with both of us. And you know, I think that's pretty amazing, because dogs usually pick one person to buddy up with, and then, you know, if you're not that person, you're in a bad way. I've already been in here. Yeah, it took almost a year for Dylan. If Randy was in the house, I didn't exist. And if she wasn't, I was okay. But then, like I said, it took about a year. Finally, if she was in the house, he'd come and have something to do with me. And then after him, we got a girl dog that was having trouble being housebroke for free, because her owner was a pastor's wife that had an antique house that the dog kept whizzing in the house on her antique floors. It just took a heck of a lot of consistency. When we were there getting Sophie, she had Sophie up in her arms, and Sophie was squirming around and said, "What do you think this dog wants?" I said, "Sounds to me like that dog wants to go outside." And she went outside, and this woman had big, tall pine trees in her backyard. And Sophie did everything, I mean, hunted and all that, but she was never made to pay attention and go to the bathroom. We got Dilly when he was 7 months old, and he knew what he was going outside for once he caught on. Sophie didn't have that. And it was a fight. I'm not going to tell you it was easy. Dachshunds are hard-headed. And, you know, it wasn't something we had to be very consistent. Yeah, it would be costly on antique floors. And when we got her, when we went and saw her, me and my wife walked out in the front yard, and I said, you know, that dog's going with us. And she did. And it was probably one of the better things I've ever done. Now, I'm going to tell you, Sophie was the most aloof thing in the world. She had been beat. one day before we went to work, I took the dogs out one last time, and Randy had already gone, and Dilly had his feet in the grass, but he pooped on the patio. And I didn't have time to deal with it at that point in time. We went ahead and went to work. It was our yard. We didn't have an HOA. It was, how it was supposed to be. I came back home that night, and while I was out walking both of them, and we didn't have a good fence, so I had them both on leash, and I picked up a rake to rake that poop off into the yard. I unfortunately wasn't picking it up at that point in time. And all of a sudden, Sophie went to the end of her 16-foot leash and wouldn't have anything to do with me. And, man, she was deathly scared of me having a rake in my hand. Somebody had beat her with a broom or something. And, after we moved from that house, we moved to a house that didn't have a fence in the yard, so they always went out on a leash. But after we moved, she would just have those moments. You'd go look for her, and you couldn't find her any place in the house. We had a second floor room. She used to go to the top of the steps and sit, trying to hide. We had to keep the bonus room closed because she would go in there and hide. Yeah, I don't know what was going on in her head, but she was very food driven. We got to where I made her put a bed about 10 feet from her bowl, made her go lay in the bed before I would put the food down, because if you didn't, she'd be over the top of the food bowl and you'd pour the food on her head. Once she learned it, she was fine with it. And it was funny, about 2 weeks before she passed, I had poured food in her bowl, and Randy asked me to do something, and I didn't give her the command to come to the food bowl, and she knew. Well, all of a sudden I walked away and was doing something else and didn't think anything of it, and she kind of growled at me a little bit, made a noise, kind of looked at me like, hey, I'm sitting here, give me the command. She was a little too good at that point, and it was sad. That dog had a hard life, and I would like to think that the 9 years we had her, she was 11 years old when she passed on. We took her to a chiropractor that was 2 hours away from our house, and he agreed to treat her. Her right hip joint had no ball on it. I don't know what, happened to her, but it was not good. That, and that. Okay. All right, I need one of those. Good deal. I'm going to build this jetpack, and then we're going to wind all this up so I can go do whatever I need to do to deal with Miss Amp. I've got the number 3 jetpack on. Yay! All right, let's go look at the final numbers. We're 62% along. We're about 3.6 TTI. Numbers are still moving. Oxygen is doing good. Well, okay, folks, that's where we're going to leave it. Sounds like a plan. Super jets. Yeah, absolutely. At least we found some place. Privately, I've been playing this because they did put it out for the development channel. But when they say that I can start recording that, I'm definitely going to do it because it's pretty interesting, but it's nowhere near complete. All right, folks, I appreciate you being here. And Darlene's around here someplace. Darlene, I appreciate you being here. Shaman, you're always, you're like, always here, and I appreciate that. Country Lady, I appreciate you being here also. You all have a good one. I'll probably see most of you at AMP Stream. Country Lady, I hope you have a good day at work.